Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so thankful that you could. I can't even remember my intro. I'm so thankful that you decided to click on this video and spend a little time with me today. If you are new here, my name is Kristen and I have been crocheting for around 13 years now. I love yarn hauls and kitty cats and all things crochet and yarn related. So if you are into that kind of thing, I would love if you would subscribe and become a part of our awesome community here on YouTube. So it's been a little bit. I had some good momentum going during fall break a few weeks ago. I think it's been like 3 weeks. And as soon as I went back to work, I lost all motivation. And I'm telling you, these kittens are something else. Anyway, today we are going to just chat. So I don't think I ever showed you my new little filming spot. I had started filming a video, like a vlog style video about like my week on fall break, everything I was crocheting and setting up this little space, and never finished it. So I have a bunch of videos that you will probably never see, but just to wrap that up, I want to kind of go over this little spot here, my plan for it, and then I want to talk about some unfortunate news about me kind of losing some of my crochet motivation recently, because I know most of us go through that, and I know it's temporary and circumstantial, and so you know, we all go through it, or at least most of us. So you know, any encouragement in that area is great always. And then also I kind of had a little bit of a thought on the JoAnn. I know the JoAnn thing's a little bit old news, but JoAnn and how it's affected Michael's. And I have some pretty interesting thoughts. Well, I don't know if they're interesting. They're interesting to me. I have some thoughts about that. So let's just get into it. So first of all, I rearranged my shelf, my yarn shelf. It used to be along this wall, and that's where I would film. But I kind of wanted to have two separate spots because I was a little bit over just having the one filming spot. So I moved it to the opposite side of my room, and I decided to move this chair up here and make this like more of a place where we could chat about things and do sort of like crochet and chats, those type of videos in this area here. Whereas like the yarn shelf will be more for yarn hauls and showing you what I'm working on and stuff like that. So first I want to talk about this. I had it planned out all cute, and I had, you know, these were in my old video setup. I kind of had some draped up at the top and some along the wall. And so I had like 5 different colors. Here they are here. The reason they're not all up is because of this right here. Exactly what you see happening behind me. They've ruined them for the most part. I mean, they are totally messed up. Of course the kittens are gonna like that. So not sure what to do about that, but I have a few that I would love to put back up. I'm probably going to end up taking these down because, like I said, they are destroying them. They're destroying them right now. So that's fun. Let me get little Coco for you because, oh, she won't let me get her. Yep, I'm going to get her. Come here, Coco. Come here. When you first saw her, she was a pound. Now she's 4 pounds. She's as wild as ever. She's as cute as can be, but she's a feisty little girl. And then Toby, he's our sweet boy, but he also is destroying things like cords and carpet, trying to get into our bedroom at night. So that's been fun. I'm telling you, it's like literally having toddlers, it feels like. So that situation is under construction. I did crochet this cute little wall basket hanging thing. I don't know exactly what you want to call it. I will link the pattern in the description. It was really quick to make. I just used the Thick and Quick yarn by Lion Brand, and then I bought some flowers from Michael's and stuck them in there because I just felt like this wall was so empty. So I have that, so you can kind of see that peeking through the video. And then over here beside it, I have my whip cart. It's kind of messy. I have some books up here, crochet pattern stuff, and things like that. So, it's nice to have this, to have another area. I really don't want to take these down because I feel like just having a pop of color on this wall adds so much, but I'm never going to be able to film if these guys are running around in here. Obviously, I need to lock them out. So if they get too crazy, I'll take those down or lock them out. Anyway, the next thing I want to talk about is the sad reality that we all, like I said, most of us, I shouldn't say all of us, because I'm sure there are some people who feel like crocheting 100% of the time. But I have found for me, when I'm off work, my favorite time to crochet, honestly, is first thing in the morning. So I like to wake up, have my cup of coffee, crochet in bed for a while, or crochet while I listen to my Bible, things like that. That is my very favorite time to crochet. And I can get stuck for a while in bed on a day I'm off, just wanting to crochet. And then on fall break recently, I crocheted every single day. I got a lot done. And then just, I don't know, you know, I'm sure those of you who work full-time jobs or have worked full-time jobs or even part-time jobs, you know, it is a lot. And then when you're trying to manage everything else, I have 2 sons and I'm a wife and we live with my grandpa, and I also like to read. So I've been trying, I felt like I was neglecting reading, so I get back into that. Trying to work out, trying to focus on nutrition, which, by the way, I have lost 15 pounds as of today, so that's a win. Very excited about that because I did gain about 30 pounds over the last few years with some medication that I have been on. And so seeing that drop off is amazing. I still have a ways to go, but I'm very happy to make progress. So anyway, focusing on those things, focusing on having dinner as a family, the time just flies by. So by the time that I actually get to sit down and have time to crochet, my brain is done. I work in a primary school, and so my brain is overloaded and overstimulated all day, every day. Well, 5 days a week. I do love it. I love what I do, but it's also stressful. So my brain is just done by the time I've worked, got home, do a workout, try to do a Bible study, and I've honestly been not doing very good about that either. My plan today was to come home, sit down, do a Bible study, and then film a video, and I got stuck just sitting and watching YouTube because my brain is just like wanting to rest. So I need to do better about that. So by the time we do that, and then it's dinner time, so I'm cooking dinner and then we're eating dinner, and I feel like, you know, I want to do stuff with my kids. So if we play a board game or something, you know, it's like 8, 9 o'clock before I get in bed, and then my brain is just done. And also, I have been feeling so overwhelmed with all of the projects that I have going at the moment. So if you've been around for a while, then you've heard me say this. I'm just the type of person that gets bored working on the same project for a long period of time. If it's a project that is time consuming, which I make mostly wearables now, so those take a while. I get bored doing the same thing. And so I've always enjoyed having multiple projects at once. I enjoy starting new projects. And honestly, part of me is more excited about starting new projects than finishing them. And I know that sounds crazy because I love to have finished projects. I love to be able to wear what I've made. I love that. But there's this just certain excitement. There's an excitement of seeing a yarn and wanting to see what it looks like worked up in a certain way and just starting something new. Does anyone relate to that? So I have a lot of projects started. It's not really ever bothered me that much in the past. It's bothering me lately because I have a whole whip cart, and I mentioned this in my recent video. I just have no desire to finish those projects. And I don't like that feeling. And it's for various reasons. I mean, some of it is because I've worked up a lot of it and then realize I don't love the color choice, or I don't love the way I feel like it's gonna fit, and I don't want to take the time to undo it all, to frog it all and start it up again. There's just so much work in crochet that to do that is just, no one likes to frog a bunch of their work. Also, because I lay patterns down for a while to work on something else, I have to go back and remind myself how to do the pattern again a lot of the time. And that's time consuming. And then if I've taken the hook, which I did recently write down most of my whips and the hook sizes. But trying to find the right hook size again. I know that that's on me. That's my fault. Organization is not my strong suit. Or just there are issues I've run into. I have a wrap cardigan right now that I have an issue with because the sleeves are uneven. And I don't want to go back and redo the sleeves. So again, is that laziness? I don't know. I don't know what that is. I don't know if I have like undiagnosed ADHD issues or just what I have. But I have so many projects and I love them when I start on them, and then I don't know what happens. Like right now, I'm so close to getting done with 2 projects, but I have no desire to work on them because I'm sitting there looking at them and I'm like, am I really gonna wear that? Because I look in my closet and I have like 8 maybe wearable pieces, and out of those I regularly wear maybe 2 of them. All the other ones, like, I love looking at them. They're made in bright, fun colors that I love, but they either fit a little odd or they're a little too bright for my everyday life. And so then I get excited about making a new project and I get 3/4 of the way done with it, and then I'm like, oh, am I really gonna wear this? I loved making it. I love looking at it. But is it my style? Is it something I'm gonna wear? So I'm kind of going through this weird phase where it's like, I love making wearables. And I think maybe whenever you go on to start something new and you go all in. So like maybe you just started making amigurumi and you're like going all in with that. Or you just started making beanies and you go all in with that, or whatever it might be. I kind of went all in with the wearables thing and didn't really take the time to like reflect on my personal style, because yeah, I can love colors, I can love certain things, but not necessarily wear them all the time. And that's one thing I realized, is like, I love bright and fun colors, but do I honestly, does that work for my daily life? So I hope that someone can relate to that. So I'm kind of in this weird, like, what do I do? Like, do I go through and pick out these whips that I really do want to finish and everything else frog and just completely do something different with it? Or do I let them sit for a while and give myself a time limit, and like, if I don't work on these or finish these in a certain amount of time, then I need to be done with it? Do I continue to make some of the items and give them as gifts, because that's always an option, and I have done that lately, or donate them. Of course, that's a great option. So that is definitely something that, like these projects that I'm closer to being done with, that if I get them done and they don't fit me exactly like I'd like, of course it'd be a better option to donate. So that's an obvious one. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to share my thoughts on that. I'm just like in this weird place where it's like, I love crochet, but I'm like, what am I doing with it right now? I don't know. Like, I'm kind of in this weird in between. And you know, it doesn't worry me too much because we all grow and change. Our personalities change, our interests change, and that's just a part of life. You know, and I'm not saying I'm not going to be not interested in crochet. I mean, like, what I'm interested in making with crochet, not crochet in itself. That is a passion I will have forever. But just my interest in what I'm making. It's hopped around through the years, and I think that's a normal thing. I mean, I want to make wearables. That's my favorite thing, because it's so cool to wear your own clothes that you've made. But it's just, I think I need to hone in, and I think I need to really look through these whips, and I don't need to have all of this because I look and I'm overwhelmed and I don't know what to work on. I need simplicity in my life at this point in my life. So that's my thoughts on that. I'm gonna leave it there. I still feel like the itch to crochet, but I'm just like, I think I'm just overwhelmed by it all and overstimulated by work. So anyway, leave me some encouragement in the comments if you want to. And let me know if you've ever felt like me, or if I make any sense. Maybe I don't make any sense, and that's okay. The last thing I want to talk about, because this video is already 17 minutes long and I'm rambling, is my thoughts on the JoAnn and Michael situation. I'm kind of clumping it in together. So a little bit of background, Michael's, when I first started crocheting, was my go-to for yarn. I felt like they had really good prices, really good deals, really good coupons at the time, and their yarn section was nice, and I shopped there a lot. As I continued to crochet and kind of expanded my wheelhouse, I guess, of what I make, I didn't go there as much for several reasons. Their prices, I feel like, jumped high. Obviously, a lot of things changed around 2020. We all know that. And so they did away with the coupons for a bit. Their yarn section, at least where I live, really went downhill. I mean, it looked messy. There was only like 2 aisles of yarn. I would go there and I just wouldn't find anything. And if I did find something, it was more than I wanted to pay. And so I honestly quit shopping there for yarn. So I did start going to JoAnn a little bit. I never really was a JoAnn girl. I've really always been a Hobby Lobby girl. And I know so many people disagree, and that's fine. We all have our own opinions. But I'm really, at this point, a Premier and Hobby Lobby girl, okay? But with the fall of JoAnn, and I am sad because I know a lot of people love JoAnn, especially for fabric and things like that. I do hate to see a company go under like that. But I do believe that the fall of JoAnn has created the rise of Michaels. So Michaels has exploded. Their yarn section has exploded. So Hobby Lobby downsized their yarn a few years ago. They went from like 4 aisles down to like 2.5 maybe. JoAnn obviously went under, and Michaels is booming right now. Like, they took the fall of JoAnn and they ran with it. That's my opinion. They were like, we're gonna take what you all had. Now we're gonna have the Michaels lovers that already were faithful to us in the yarn we carry. Now we're gonna have the JoAnn yarn lovers too, and now we can really capitalize on this. It was smart of them. So last time I went to my Michaels, I was shocked. I was blown away. I they've expanded the yarn section at my Michaels by probably 75%. Like I said, we went down to like 2 yarn aisles, maybe 2.5, to like 4.5, 5 yarn aisles. It's really impressive, and it looks really nice. They're putting a lot more effort into it. They're upkeeping it. I mean, there was 2 workers, maybe 3 workers back in the yarn section last time I was there. The prices, I think I feel like there's a little room for improvement. Even if they did a sale like Hobby Lobby does every other week, they do 30% off yarn. Even if Michael's picked up something like that. And I know they have like a buy 2 get 1 free thing they do a lot. I don't know. Maybe one day I need to do a price comparison of the 2. But I was just really impressed with it. And I saw that they've just really improved. And I think that's a big win for Michaels. And I can see myself. I didn't buy anything last time I was there, but I can totally see myself purchasing yarn from Michaels again, which I never really thought I would say. So I love that. All right, so this video is long, but I hope you enjoyed chatting with me in this new chatty space that's messed up already because of my cute little kittens. But I really appreciate you all stopping in and watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that maybe you got some crochet in while you were watching me ramble about me not crocheting. So yeah, just thank you all for always supporting me and always being so encouraging and tuning in when I post a video. Being a full-time working mom who's also really involved in, or pretty involved in, our church and things like that, you know, my video frequency is definitely not where I want it to be, but I just appreciate you all always tuning in when I do post. And the verses I want to read to you today is out of 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, and I'm going to read verses 9 through 12. And it says, "Now concerning brotherly love, you have no need for anyone to write to you, for you yourselves have been taught by God to love one another. For that indeed is what you are doing to all the brothers throughout Macedonia. But we urge you, brothers, to do this more and more, and to aspire to live quietly, and to mind your own affairs, and to work with your hands as we instructed you, so that you may walk properly before outsiders and be dependent on no one." And, you know, it's just so cool to me that this was written about 2,000 years ago, and the advice is still solid today. I mean, obviously that's going to be the case with God's word, but what other ancient work can give you such timely advice? Only the word of God. So now, I hope, did y'all hear my stomach growl? You probably didn't pick it up on camera, but I'm hungry. So this advice is just, it's what we need. It tells us, love each other. That we don't need instruction on that. We know God puts it in our hearts when he saves us to want to love people, especially our brothers and sisters in Christ, to live quiet lives, to not be out here shouting from the rooftops, trying to make ourselves known. Now, obviously, we need to be shouting from the rooftops that Jesus is Lord, but I mean a quiet life, like just doing the thing God has given you to do, and not trying to inflate yourself to some awesome degree. To mind your own affairs, so stay out of other people's business. Like, do what God has given you to do. Do it well. Whatever God's given you to do it well for God. And to work with your hands, to not be lazy, to work with your hands. I know I deal with laziness when I'm off work. So that we can walk properly before outsiders and be dependent on no one. So that the people who look in and see our lives as Christians, they can see they're just living their life over here. Like, they're working hard. They're not out here trying to cause trouble and cause a scene. Like, they're just living, and they're living for the Lord. And they're not dependent on people. They're not looking for handouts because God's providing for them, because they're doing what God called them to do. So I always like to try to read if there's any study notes in here. I have the ESV Study Bible. It says that by love, Christians fulfill the law. To live quietly is to live peacefully with others. Instead of interfering with others' affairs, work with your hands, earn their own living instead of being supported by wealthier Christians. And it says, walk properly before outsiders. It says, for some Christians to be shamelessly exploiting the charity of wealthier Christians would have brought disgrace on the gospel they claim to believe. So, just really good, solid advice for 2,000 years ago and for 2025. So, thank you guys again so much for watching this chatty little video. I pray that God blesses you, and I'll see you super soon in the next one.